Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. It's time that the WBA acted. It did something about Manuel Charr, its regular champion that has been completely inactive. In my view, they need to give him some form of ultimatum and possibly even strip him. He hasn't fought in a considerable amount of time, about 26 months and change, so no fight in 2019, no fight in 2018. He won the title against Alexander Ustinov in November 2017 and really hasn't been cited since, hasn't fought, hasn't defended the title, although he's been on social media acting like he's some sort of big-time champion ever since. And there have been some circumstances out of his control. There was some negotiations with Fraser Kendo in 2018 that took longer than expected. And then there was the situation with his failed drug test, and that was within his control. And I just want to dispel some rumors about that, because I've seen a number of people saying that he was cleared of drug charges, etc. Not the case. His B sample was opened. He wasn't present or didn't have a representative present, and the WBA seemingly just gave up on the whole thing, didn't have the energy to fight it. It just kind of went away. Manuel Charr keeps his title and then does nothing in 2019. Seemingly there was going to be a fight with another of the WBA's champions, because there are 4 of them, Trevor Bryan. That was meant to happen later in 2019. Just never happened. It just kind of went away. There was a promo poster, and see here on screen, but it came to nothing in the end. And when you get to a situation where a guy like Charr has held this title since 2017, never defended it, you can't just say it was all other people's fault, that he is, completely innocent in the situation, because 2 years and change, he is also part of the problem. And some of it for me is he appears to just want to sit around and wait for the right opportunity to cash out. He's not calling out anyone that, you would expect is actually on his level. He's calling out all the big names in the division, saying he wants to fight them, and seemingly for a cash out, because that's, I believe, where he's headed. I mean, realistically, when he got that WBA regular title back in 2017, he wasn't a big name in the heavyweight division. He was a sort of top 30, top 40 guy, multiple losses on the record. He wasn't especially relevant at the heavyweight division in the time. And it begs the question, why was that belt even put on the line in 2017? No one called for it. It was slung on the line at almost the last minute, and he becomes a world champion of sorts in the WBA. And since then, they've actually expanded their WBA championship ranks to include the interim champion, which is Trevor Bryan. He won that in 2018, July 2018. Also, like Charr, has been completely inactive since winning the title. And Joe Joyce, he won a gold title, which is another version of a heavyweight title, in 2019. So they're expanding their ranks at champion in the WBA. But a lot of these guys, like Bryan and Charr in particular, just not defending the belts. So what should happen now? And I did note with interest, because on his Instagram, Manuel Charr actually said, and I'll just bring it up here, "And still, heavyweight champion of the world, this year I will surprise the heavyweight division." And the first thing that came to my mind was, it would be a massive surprise if you actually fought, if you were in the ring in a fight. That would surprise the heavyweight division, because 2 years and change without a fight, it's completely ridiculous. Tying up a title, the WBA needs to do something, and it's not just about Charr here. They've got to do something about the heavyweight, titles in general. It needs to rationalize instead of expanding and creating more champions for sanctioning fees, because let's not kid ourselves, that's why they're doing it. And they've probably been adding more titles because guys like Charr are inactive. I just don't know why the WBA isn't forcing the issue here. And perhaps it is because it's wary of legal action, especially after the Fraser Kendo situation, where he took them to court and won. That would have cost them a bundle of money. And obviously they probably don't have unlimited funds to fight legal cases. So if they threaten to strip someone like Charr or even Trevor Bryan, probably the boxers will bring out the lawyers and they will hold on to their titles. But it becomes a bit of a farce because they're not doing anything with them. Parading around on social media saying, I'm a world champion. I am, the A side here. I mean, someone like Charr in 2018 was dismissing Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte would absolutely brutalize Manuel Charr, as would about 30 other boxers in the heavyweight division. At this point, Charr is just some sort of paper champion, and he's parading around on social media like he's some sort of factor in the heavyweight division. And when he says he will surprise people in the heavyweight division, he would surprise people if he actually fought, because as soon as he faces anyone halfway decent, he's losing. But will the WBA actually come out and do something? They almost made the fight between Manuel Charr and Trevor Bryan. Didn't come off, but they actually need to put something out in public and say, look, we expect our champions to be fighting at least once or twice a year. You need to defend the titles or you're going to lose it. But I guess with the threat of court action, perhaps they won't go that far, because obviously it could be used against them in court. But the situation has become untenable with this guy holding up the title, not defending it, and acting like he's the major A-side in, calling all manner of people out. Andy Ruiz Jr., the most recent of the names. Also, he's called out Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Povetkin, seemingly looking for a cash-out fight. Because it would be a cash-out fight, because he's getting knocked out when he faces anyone with a pulse. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.